Welcome to A Taste of AZ podcast, where we interview everyone from James Beard award-winning chefs to local mixologists, winemakers, breweries, and so much more. We've got an awesome episode lined up for you today. But before we get into that, head to atasteofaz.com so you can subscribe to our quarterly magazine and email newsletter to find all of the best places to eat and drink around town. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Now let's get into the episode.
Like I said, just kind of follow my lead. I mean, this is all about your storytelling. I can bring this closer to you too.
Oh no, I'm fine.
Oops, sorry. As I knocked you out with the microphone. All right, you getting some good pictures
like
over there?
was chewing on it.
Testing.
Yeah, I think that was the chew one, yeah. So, thank you guys for jumping on the podcast.
Oh, we greatly appreciate the invitation.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
And we hardly ever get to do something,
Yeah. Like you guys are always working, right? You leave Kingman to come to the valley.
Yeah,
It's
I
to work.
leave her to run the ranch, and I go out on the road, and
And do what?
sell.
It's like
Festival
party and
season.
Sell.
Yeah.
Well, I'm an old guy. I don't party that much.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, that's part. I was telling you before, like I just quit drinking in like February. Perfect timing. I don't get to taste some of the best rum in the world, but I'm 46, man, and like it's starting to catch up to me a little bit. So I'm like, I need a little breather,
Yeah.
No, I'm
always try 62 on for size.
maybe that's when I'll get back into it.
There you go.
You'll start your own distillery.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a lot of work.
We started this at 47.
Did you really?
Something like that.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So you guys have been rocking 15 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, your shirts say where you're from. Your bottles say where you're from. Desert Diamond Distillery.
Kingman's finest.
Kingman's finest, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I was up in Kingman several years ago. I think I did a podcast with, is it Blackbridge?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I did a podcast with, I think it was the original owner. I can't remember what his name
Tim
was.
Shredder.
Tim, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And Kelly.
Carrie.
Yeah.
Carrie.
Did a podcast. Those had a good time with those guys.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a good time.
We just saw Carrie yesterday. didn't
Oh,
we?
really?
Yeah.
Is Blackbridge still rocking?
Uh-huh.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a cool little place. I like their event space out in the back. So when I went up there, now I regret not going to see you guys. You guys had to come all the way to Phoenix for me to meet you. So thank you.
It was well worth it.
Yeah. Yes. So you introduce yourselves and what is your role with Desert Diamond? Start with you.
All right. Well, my name's John Patt. We're co-owners. Is my wife Deborah, and we've been doing this 15 years. I'd like to tell you what I do, but we do everything.
Okay.
We just turn our hats and figure out what we need to do today.
Change your voice up a little bit. I know you have the ability to change your voice.
All the time.
Yeah. Main role, though, like your main role is you are the distiller?
I am.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
You're making this beautiful product.
Yeah. And I chose rum. It's something I've always, this whole project's been a passion.
Okay. Yeah.
It makes absolutely no sense.
Deborah, do you agree? It makes no
Absolutely.
sense.
I mean, the joke is when people go, well, how'd you get into this business? And now we just go, it was momentary insanity.
Yeah.
And we're still insane because we're still doing it.
Yeah.
We still enable each other, as far as keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually there's some person in the relationship that's sensible and says, don't do this.
Right.
You don't have that.
We're still looking for that. Yeah. We used to
I'm not
have
going to be that person.
And if
We
one
used
of
to
us
have it.
Okay.
seems like they're catching like reality and the other one was like, hey, let's try buying a train car.
Oh, yeah, we did that too. We bought 3 of those.
Let's do that.
3 train cars?
Yeah, one's a full restaurant. It's a 106-year-old Pullman rail car.
Really? That's
And then we
really
have
cool.
2 cabooses,
Okay.
Airbnb.
This is on your property
Uh-huh.
at the distillery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
So-
like a little oasis in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that idea, a train car.
So, yeah, we keep hitting our head and, yeah.
And just keep on keeping
Keep
on.
trucking, yeah. And then, just when we're down, someone will walk in the door and
Oh, sure.
sing our praises and
And then we're like, well,
Okay.
that's why we're in the business.
Yeah.
more insanity
Yeah.
coming.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. You're hoping, you're like, this is it. I'm just going to jack all of this up and do this and who cares? And then people are like, this is incredible. And you're like,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Guys,
It's
I'll keep
true.
on going. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Right.
are you guys originally from Arizona?
Not
No?
originally.
Okay.
no.
All right.
She's old military brat, and I've
Okay.
just been all
I've
over
lived
the
a
place.
long list of places, so almost everybody that comes in, like us, or we have something in common.
Yeah.
You know, that's so funny. And he's
Yeah.
if wherever I haven't lived, John lives or lived there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So-
Used to travel a lot and all that good stuff. so-
Okay. And what?
I mean, I still travel a lot, just in Arizona.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. During the summer too? Do you make trips down
No,
here?
you
yeah.
know, just like most places in Arizona, the summer is our quiet season.
Okay. Yeah.
That's when I do a lot of production, actually.
Okay. Gotcha.
Even though it's terrible, it's
yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
I just work at night.
Does it keep you slim? Yeah. that's
I'm
that's
just
what.
dying to
Oh yeah.
taste this.
Well, shout out to Old Ellsworth. Old Ellsworth, I love these guys. We're here, did a podcast with them earlier. They're going to be featured in our new book, and they carry your rum. And what did they make you? What is that, Deborah?
This is called the Rumkin.
The Rumkin.
It's with the dark rum and
Okay.
the other obviously pumpkin something.
Yeah.
And I think I read cinnamon on there and vanilla.
Okay.
Ooh,
And
it's stellar.
they nailed it.
Oh
Yeah. Do you
I'm
guys
going
do?
to have to get the recipe and try to make this in Kingman.
Do you guys? I was going to ask you that. Do you guys do cocktails and stuff at the
I was just going to
tasting
say,
room? Yeah.
I distill. She's the mixology.
Okay. Nice.
If we have specialties, that'd be our range right there.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, a cocktail to me is 2 rocks.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
This is not my thing. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a huge part of what we do, and that's her angle. That's where she's really good.
Sure.
Yeah, he's not going to be drinking the spiced
That
rumkin. I'll be drinking that.
Visually, that looks like it's a good match for you, John. Though, like it looks like your type of drink. I don't know much about you,
Oh,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
Nah,
Well, you know, I do change. and-
Yeah.
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 I'm like a chameleon.
yeah, I can see that. I say the one that closer to you is more your
Yeah,
more your
this is
speed.
I do believe they did a rum old fashioned with our
I haven't
black
tasted
wax.
that one either.
And the
With
black
your what?
wax, the black wax. Is,
Okay.
The wax is kind of missing here.
Okay.
They peel that off.
Oh, it's got the little stamp though, right?
But basically,
The little-
yeah, it is at least a 2-year rum,
Okay.
but generally we're in the 3 to 4 range.
Gotcha.
And I do only single barrel,
Okay.
so every time it has characteristics that are very similar each time, but each barrel's a little bit different.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then
That's
normally
nice.
I forward those barrels on to someone in Arizona
Yeah.
to either age a beer like they do here,
Yep.
or a mead or a wine.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Nice.
I try to keep the. I am one of the only distillers in the country who ages rum in new barrels.
New barrels.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really my big gig.
Why is that? Why do you do that?
Everything I've done in my life, I try to bring things from other industries or different facets,
Yeah.
and try to create something new.
Okay, I like that.
I make whiskey too, but I don't try to I don't try to do mainstream whiskey either.
Yeah.
I try to always bring something new to the table.
I like that.
Of course, that creates its own trouble. She'll tell you that,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we're in the middle of nowhere too.
yeah.
So what validates what I do, and that took many years to validate what I'm doing, as far as a craft.
Sure.
That people should come and try our stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything takes time when you venture out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that though. I feel that because I've always been the type of person like they zig, I zag, to
Yeah.
almost sometimes to my detriment.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have it any other way.
And it
Like,
was.
Yeah.
You know, I had this crazy idea. We didn't exactly move to Kingman for the business climate. I had this crazy idea. Jack made it in the middle of nowhere, so could I.
Yeah.
Forgot they had over 100 years on
Yeah.
it. I'm still playing catch up. But we came there for the
80
climate.
years to go.
Yeah.
The climate is very similar to what you would expect for Tennessee, Kentucky.
Okay.
You know, Kingman's not as hot as the Valley,
Yep.
and it's not as cold as Flagstaff, but there's a nice contrast there.
Sure.
And that aging has really worked.
Yeah.
That contrast. I'm not saying we make better spirit, but you know, like in Tennessee, Kentucky, they can make a better spirit faster.
Okay.
You know, whereas other climates, it takes much longer.
Gotcha. Why is that? Like what I mean, is it just all
you
the
have
conditions?
in the barrels. When you have let's say you're cold or hot, it's static.
Okay.
So the alcohol on the outside stays there,
Yeah.
When you have this contrast, you're pushing alcohol, expanding it, contracting it, and in the process you're moving it around in the barrel and exposing more alcohol to the wood.
Okay. Okay.
Just the temperature is, a liquid expands
Yeah.
on the heat and contracts on the cool of the day.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
or
in
the
high
seasons.
desert areas like Kingman,
Yeah.
we have that kind of weather, and so it's very good for the barrel room. Not many, but a few distilleries across the nation heat and cool their barrel rooms. So they have that knowledge of how that works, and they actually do it artificially.
Okay. Gotcha. You guys don't.
Sister.
You do it naturally.
Yeah.
Just the natural,
Yeah,
the
Natural
world.
Arizona.
Yeah. Yeah.
the terroir.
Well, yeah. So what caused you to want to do this? Like, what was it that? What did
It's
you guys
all
do before?
passion.
Like, what did you
I
guys?
always say made money.
Yeah. You said
I
you
was-
made money before.
I was a
Yeah, I-
personal trainer.
Okay. Okay.
Now I'm into alcohol.
Yeah. Hey, there's a.
I
there's-
backslid into the distillery.
I've been in small business my whole life, so
Okay. Yeah.
all kinds of businesses. Beans and rice have looked really good.
Okay.
And then we've been pretty successful too. So
Yeah.
this one has had numerous challenges.
Okay. Sure.
One, because we make everything.
Yeah.
Two, because we chose to make spirit in an area that's not typical.
Okay.
So it's kind of like starting a winery in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, why would we go to visit your winery? It just takes a very long time to build that validation or trust in people to want to come your way.
Sure.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just. I don't know. We still don't know.
I love it,
I think
yeah.
if we figure it out,
Then
I
you
always
shut
say
down.
if she figures
We're
me
in this
out,
for the cocktails. No, I'm
Yeah.
she hasn't figured the distillery out because she hasn't figured out the distillery yet.
Ah.
Yeah, so she's still hanging around.
Are you getting any closer to any answers?
no.
It may be further away.
Like
More
anybody.
answers than.
Like, why are you still married after 30 years? I don't know.
Just happens, right?
Yeah,
It just
we're
happens.
not having fun, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, so you decide that you're going to open up this a distillery, right? Had you been like home distilling?
Well, you always do some practice. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And then we were open for like a year before we opened to the public,
Okay.
so I could adapt, hobby-like stuff to more commercial
Yeah.
size.
Okay.
But there's not a lot to go on. When we started, there was like 100 craft distillers in the whole country.
In the whole country.
We
right?
were
Yeah.
the second in Arizona.
Okay.
By attrition, we got the title of oldest.
Ah.
I always say that's not really a badge of honor.
Yeah.
That's more to show you how difficult the industry is.
Yeah.
And how hard it, how young it is.
Yeah. It is a young industry here
Yeah.
in Arizona, right?
Well, in general, it's just not.
Yeah.
Even before us, there was just a few dozen distillers,
Why is that? Do you think? Like,
and
why
now there's over 3,000.
3,000 distillers in the country.
country.
Yeah. Wow.
A lot.
Why was that before? I mean,
Just
I think it was the
Laws.
liquor law was
Okay.
very
about the laws.
detrimental to start small.
okay.
And the federal law, I think, dropped the amount of money you have to pay for a liquor license to make it more affordable.
Yeah. Okay.
So that
Yeah.
was the kind of hey, we're opening the door to small companies.
Yeah. Okay.
And so that was probably 20 years ago, maybe 25. And when we found out it wasn't as expensive as we thought, maybe that was part of the reason we went that way instead of a winery or a brewery.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Everything's very capital intensive
Sure.
in any of the alcohol industry.
Yeah.
So
Well, and especially I say for you guys, right? Because I mean, a brewery, you can produce a beer, and what, 5 weeks later, 4 weeks later?
you're at market.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're going to do an aged spirit, yeah,
Your years.
and actually make it, it's
Yeah.
there's things available, but it's a hurry up and wait game.
Sure.
We
Yeah.
always kid around. People ask us all the time, "How did you get the patience for this business?" And we always say we raise daughters.
Ah. That's good to know. I have 2 daughters, 11 and 13.
They
so
taught me a
Yeah.
lot about patience.
yeah.
They still do.
Yeah.
And now I have granddaughters.
Oh.
Yeah, so
all girls? Like,
we actually have one grandson.
okay.
but
Okay.
it didn't look good there for a long
Yeah.
time.
We were so surprised when,
When the boy came?
yeah.
Yeah.
You were like,
Yeah, because we have all pretty much nieces too,
Yeah.
and it's been a run.
Yeah. I tell you, I mean, kids teach you so many things about yourself
Yep.
that like they will push you to your absolute limits.
Yeah.
And then beyond.
Yeah.
And then they see that you're beyond, and then they're like, I'm going to dig this in a little
That's
bit more.
right.
But we're all better because of it, right? Yes.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Patience is a virtue.
Yes, it
So-
is. Always you hear that phrase so many times, but you don't really truly understand it until you have children,
Yeah.
right?
But people don't realize how much patience it does take to age barrels in the barrel room. Our first barrel I compare to birthing an elephant. I mean, an elephant takes 2 years.
Yeah.
And that barrel took 2 years. And I tell you, we were taking people by it, doing tours for 2 years,
Yeah.
saying, here's our barrels.
Yep.
And they were like, oh, that's so exciting. And we did this for 2 years before we were able to get it out.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating.
Sure.
After the first one, it was a little better because you had one on the bar people could taste.
Yeah.
But man, that first 2 years.
So what would you do? Like when you would you have people come in, and did you have something for them? Or was
Yeah,
it,
Well,
we
we
started
had-
off with several products.
okay.
We did the vodka, we did the white rum, we did the dark rum,
Okay.
and then we have a unique. I didn't want to do a spiced rum. It's Arizona,
Yeah.
so I did it's an agave flavored rum.
Oh.
And that's still by far our biggest selling. rum.
Okay. So, all right, I see what you're saying. So, like, you've got the aged ones, but then you've got other spirits that are.
And I would say we use
Yeah.
those the most for our cocktails.
Yeah. Okay.
The white
Yeah.
rum, the vodka,
Yeah.
the dark rum, which is what we featured here, and the agave rum. And so those are all used on my back bar the most, I would say.
Okay.
And they make all of my cocktails. And we have mixers from Stonewall Kitchen, which would be your high-end mixers
Yeah.
that you would get at AJ's Fine Foods or Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
They carry that Stonewall Kitchen stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, agave
Gotcha.
rum is what we wholesale the most.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
As far as like accounts around the state that,
Yes.
that carry that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Definitely retail.
Which you said you guys are at like Total Wine.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, all those places. So now you had said this a couple times, John. You were saying when you actually make it, and I think I know what you mean by that. Like when you're saying you're grain to glass, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically.
I am not farm to table.
Okay, which is
We're not-
Farming is not going to happen.
sure.
We're not
Yeah, yeah,
growing.
yeah.
So, but I have to source my ingredients.
Right.
But
yeah.
I ferment, distill, and age everything.
Yeah.
Everything. So good, bad, or ugly, there's nobody else to blame.
Yeah, exactly. It all falls on this guy's shoulders. Yeah.
Yeah, his fault.
Yeah, but and I don't think a lot of people realize that like that's a step that I don't say a lot or majority or whatever. Many distillers don't take is they'll buy a source.
Well, it's a lot of it has to do with business, cash flow. I
Okay,
mean,
yeah.
Like we just talked about. I mean, I have 14-year-old spirit.
Yeah,
To have that ability to do that takes a lot of patience and stubbornness and
yeah,
and then you don't even know
You don't know.
yeah,
there was
Is
no
it going to be
manual.
any good?
There was no manual to this.
yeah,
So 14 years, maybe I didn't have any left. Evaporation, angel share,
yeah,
all these things.
yeah,
So you're doing it's like a glorified experiment.
yeah,
But that's why the feedback from these big contests are so important to some level. I mean, it's important a little bit, but we did several contests the first 2 years, and then we went straight to the San Francisco World for that first barrel that came out of the barrel room.
okay,
And
yeah.
we got a gold.
With the first barrel.
That
Yeah.
first
Wow.
one, 2012, and we
Yeah.
were like, "What? Like
Yeah.
what?"
Yeah.
And that was exciting. So we continued doing that for a while, and then we transitioned into the International World Spirit Competition into London, and those two, between the two of those, San Francisco World and the London, those are the two top spirit competitions in the world. So.
Yeah.
They give you great feedback for your product, and we encourage other craft distilleries to also compete in those because we think that craft spirits are going to be a cut above the regular run-of-the-mill and they're going to
Yeah.
showcase well.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of
Well,
people
you
do
get
those.
you get to compete
Yeah.
against the best.
Sure.
And
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm always.
Yeah.
For me personally, I don't care much about awards.
Yeah.
For the business, it's incredible. The
Yeah.
validation's awesome.
For sure.
And I always say it doesn't mean you're going to like my stuff. It just means it's worth trying.
Yeah.
For me personally, it's kind of like if you were a big league pitcher and you're out there competing against other big league pitchers and knowing that you're, holding your own against your peers. That's personal for me.
Yeah.
So
Well, especially when you're charting your own path, right? Because you're kind of like, oh shit, I hope this is the way that
Yeah.
like
and you're putting money.
yeah, that's a big piece of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
You're investing in these that you don't know. Are people going to like them? Even if they get a big award, you know who the real judges are? The people at my bar.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we
Those are the people who judge me, and they give me more feedback, of course, every day. So I know exactly, and I have the full 15 years of confidence on every single product and who likes it, who might not like it,
Yeah.
etc. And it's amazingly, wonderfully complex because there's so many different taste buds out there. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
we have fun.
Well, then that's a good point too, right? Because that's who is buying this product. Your
That's right.
consumer. Like you
Yeah.
might be able to like. It feels good to have the experts say, yeah, this is this.
Sure.
But if nobody's buying it, like in your
Right.
tap or your tasting room,
That's a different story.
that is, yeah.
Another analogy we always use is an artist painting a painting. You can be a famous painter, but you're only as good as your last work,
Sure. Yeah.
Put that painting out and the consumer doesn't like it, you got a nice wall hanging in your living room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're no different.
Yep.
When we put those barrels up and we go to market, it's always, there's that angst.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just watching it, refreshing your
Yeah.
browser.
I have to give a plug to our 2020 rum, which ranked 9th in the world at the IWSC in London in 2020. And there's still some available, but it's at Total Wines. And I can't sell it out because those bottles are somewhere else.
Yeah.
And so there's still some hidden places at these Total
that
Wine
was the
stores.
first 10-year spirit in
And
Arizona.
we're so like, there's still some on, we'll bring agave rum there. And we're like, did you see one? Yeah, there's still one there,
Yeah.
or something. So you can still find them as consumers. You can still find some of those beginning ones that were the first ones that were winning up there at that level at
Yeah.
the IWSC.
That's really cool. So there's some hidden gems out there
Yeah.
just waiting to be discovered.
And I mean, who
Yeah.
knows how many others, like, it's probably not just me. There's probably other little hidden gems that just nobody knows about.
Yeah. I mean, I think we should challenge our listeners to seek those out.
There you
Find
go.
those,
Oh,
right?
that'd be cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take a picture, tag Desert
Great
Diamond.
Christmas gift.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
That and my whiskeys, they're hard to find.
Yeah?
They are.
I do a 100% corn and I do 100% wheat.
Okay.
So
Nice. And are those found, like, do you find those in
No
Total Wines?
wholesale.
No? Okay. So
Yeah.
those are only
That's
in.
order online from us
Yeah.
or
And I think
In
all
Arizona.
Of, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
or come see us.
Nice.
We
And
can
Kingman.
ship in Arizona.
You can
And-
ship in Arizona?
Yeah,
Okay.
direct to consumer.
Yeah.
But I'm
Okay.
challenging them to come to Kingman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more fun to come out and see us, but
Yeah.
if you can't and you're looking for good Christmas gifts, you can go online.
Yeah. If you want to have dinner in a railroad car, right?
Yeah,
Come up
they're going to be what? It's going to be like Italian food.
Yeah, we
Okay.
rented the restaurant out, so a
Oh,
very
gotcha.
nice young couple is
Okay.
taking it over.
Yeah.
Mama Bear and I are getting a little older and
Were you guys doing
can't
the
do
food
it all
too?
anymore.
You guys were doing the food as well?
We
Yeah.
were,
Okay.
but that was back from 2020 to 2022.
Okay.
So we found out that we can do it, but it's killing us.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. That's a whole new industry in itself, right?
Yeah.
Well, we've
Like,
done it
yeah.
before, but
Yeah.
we weren't 62.
Yeah. You're enjoying your time more, right? You're
think-
you're valuing
We
your
got to
time
get some
more.
of those grandbabies.
You're younger
Yeah,
in
yeah.
here.
They don't stay
For sure.
grandbabies forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are future employees right there.
And she does feed me ultimatums every now and then.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
And that was one of them.
No.
That's
He was looking for a pizza oven the last year, and I kept saying, no, somebody will bring their own pizza oven.
yeah. Find somebody with a pizza oven.
That's right.
Yeah. John wants to have that that little shovel
He's
thing.
ready
and-
to
I like to
make
throw 'em.
pizza.
Oh yeah. Well, so I want to ask you about this too. Let's back up a second. Why? So if it's not typical to do rum in a new barrel, what made you want to do that?
I like to apply new stuff.
Yeah.
I like to be different.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
like we were talking
Yeah.
earlier. I really like, even if I make a bourbon, I don't make a typical traditional style bourbon.
Okay.
I just got to do different things.
Yeah. Did you test it out?
I mean,
with
our vodka is incredibly nice, but
Yeah.
it's incredibly different.
Yeah.
I did a sugarcane based. I didn't carbon filter it. It truly drinks like a Brazilian cachaça, which most people don't know.
I didn't even know what that is. Yeah.
But we call it a rumka, so it's a vodka by law, but it still has that rum character in it.
Interesting.
But it drinks really nice by itself. On
Yeah.
the rocks, twist a lime.
Remember when he said he does everything different? So
Yeah.
I have to sell this at the bar. So people are like, why does this vodka taste different? You know, and I'm like, well, it's gluten free. Let's start off with that. That's the phrase of the decade.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, and it's based in rum. It's a rumka. And then they're like so puzzled at the bar. You know, they're like, I like it, but I don't know what I'm drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you met John yet? Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Why don't you do a tour?
He's back there. You'll
He'll
see
tell
him.
you all
You'll see
about
him.
it.
You'll know him when you see him.
Right.
Yeah. So did you test it out at all? Like as far as
Oh,
like in knowing, was there a comparison or was it more of like, this is my idea and I just want to make sure it's good?
This is my idea.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I taste a lot of spirits.
Yeah.
But I don't. Yeah. It has to be my own.
I like that.
I'll
I like
tell
that
you,
a
the
lot.
funny part is I'm not a vodka drinker. I hate vodka, and I get plenty of vodka haters at the bar.
Okay.
80% of the time, they love this rumka
Yeah.
vodka because it's softer and sweeter. And even I have transitioned into anything made with our vodka. I can drink it and enjoy that vodka drink, like a vodka espresso martini
Yeah.
or any of those specialty things that people used to, it's a constant thing, like vodka this, vodka that, all these cocktails. And I never could enjoy them because
Yeah.
of the burn.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
And I hate anything that burns, and nothing that we have burns. So as
Yeah.
a red wine drinker, outside of the facility of our distillery,
Yeah.
I am just amazed that I can sip some of them and enjoy the vodka.
Yeah.
So like
Nice.
when I get people that come in who say, oh, I can't, I don't do liquor. And if they do a tasting, then I can explain to them why they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
they're like, how come this isn't burning? And I'm like, because it's not the standard.
Yeah.
Just like there's not a standard in the craft wine and craft beer, it's always like a little cut above.
Sure. Yeah.
And then the same holds true for distilleries that are really fermenting and distilling everything.
Yeah.
She's my PR.
She does a great job.
Sorry,
Does a
I get
great
on my
job.
soapbox.
No,
you know?
that's great.
The only thing I'm going to plug is, and I've dealt with it for 15 years, having chosen rum was not a class. It's coming into its own
Okay.
now. And people are starting to understand that there is a premium category to rum.
Sure.
That's
yeah.
true.
It's kind of like, everybody focuses on the premium whiskey, ignores the bottom whiskey, but focuses on the bottom rum and ignores the premium rum.
Yeah.
You can make rum with as much complexity as any whiskey. The difference is the finish.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a malted barley, a sour mash. You're going to get a rum finish. And that's why I always tell people, you might not like my stuff, but you should try it. It's
Yeah.
very different.
Yeah.
And that's why I still go out on the road, because nobody believes me until they try it.
You got that cup in your hand, like
Yep.
right there, and like,
That's it.
okay, yeah.
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 I like that. Yeah.
It's that different. It's that
dig it.
different.
Man, I wanna.
And we get plenty of rum haters, just like the vodka haters.
Sure.
And they're the ones who end up going home with a black wax rum that made our rum, the rum Manhattan here.
Yeah.
And they are like, how come it tastes like whiskey? And we could tell them that 100 times until they taste it. It doesn't compute.
Sure.
And a lot of that has to do with the new barrel aging
Okay.
and the microclimate.
Yeah.
And
I am
also,
basically doing a whiskey aging on the rum.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But we're
makes
not
sense.
adding sugar either, and that's the key.
Yeah.
It's not all gloppy, gloopy
Sure.
with syrups
Syrupy,
or sugars.
yeah.
And that's I think most of what I hear at the bar is people like, I hate that syrupy taste. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of people that love this
Yeah.
sweetness.
Well, rum is sweet because it's made from sugar.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, all alcohol is made from sugar.
Sure. Right. Yeah. That's a-
And all alcohol off the still is dry.
yeah.
there's no, I mean, there's sweet alcohols,
Sure.
but there's no any sugar or whatever's added afterwards.
Yeah.
But we don't do that. We're just,
Right.
it's right off of the presses. We get it out of the barrel. We just proof it, and it's just clean. No sugar, flavor, color added.
Yeah. I
That's
dig
our
it.
gig.
I like it. I
That's
like
our
it.
story.
Let's take a quick break, and then
Okay.
I got a couple other things I want to chat with you guys
Right
about,
on.
and we'll wrap it up, and you guys
Cool.
can be where you need to be.
Grandbabies.
A real quick reminder, head over to atasteofaz.com and subscribe to our email newsletter. Also, subscribe to A Taste of AZ magazine and get it shipped right to your door. Now let's get back into today's episode.
This lineup is incredible. I love that Old Ellsworth carries your spirits, or the rum specifically, right?
We love it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys get to come down, have some great beer. I saw you enjoying a beer while we were doing a podcast.
There's a
with Old
lot of
Ellsworth.
perks to my business.
Yeah.
There's a
them?
lot of stress too, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of perks.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we meet a ton of good people.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ton of good people.
So many people, and we can't remember them all half the time, but if somebody reminds me of what we talked about, then I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
And that's what keeps us motivated.
it's great.
I love it.
It's been a long 15 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so you get awards and there's that validation and it feels good in the heart, right? But it doesn't mean
Translate.
that. Yeah, and then it's like, all right, well, we still got to run this business. We still
Yep.
got to, and it's a grind. Like,
Yeah.
this industry is a very tough industry.
Yes.
Just general food and beverage.
Yes.
But you like to make things a little harder on yourself, John, I think, right?
That's what she tells me all the time.
I love it, though.
true.
And then
Like,
I make it harder on her behind the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
Well,
all
if
works
I was
out.
going to go through the trouble of making it all,
Yeah.
and if we were going to survive, I wanted to have an identity.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be. If you have our spirits, anywhere probably, and you've had them before at our place, you're going to know exactly where that came from.
Yeah.
And that's what I always envisioned.
I dig that. Yeah.
Right or wrong, we're still here.
Yeah. I don't think it's wrong. I
A
think
lot
you
of
guys
hard
are all
work
right.
and luck.
Sure.
After 15 years, though, our customers are all over the world.
Yeah.
And so much, every so often I get fun stories like this lady is in the middle of Indonesia in some tiny little island. They have a dinner, and two people, strangers, know us and have been to our place. And
Yeah.
it's crazy.
That's
You know,
awesome.
It's just
Yeah.
the stories we hear.
That's the kind of stuff that
It's fun.
pulls our trigger and says, okay, we'll keep chugging.
Throws a log on the fire for you a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, gets the flame going.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. So, and then recently you guys got some awards too, right?
This year, our 12-year was 14th in the world,
Okay.
so
yeah.
I slacked off. It was only a 97.
John,
Last
come
year
on.
we actually had. So this kind of is personal, and I do get a little excited.
Yeah.
IWSC is the oldest competition in the world,
That's one in London, right?
and I don't
Yeah.
know exactly how many perfect scores there's been historically in the competition,
Okay.
but technically probably no more than 50, and we're now in that category. We had a perfect score.
Perfect
Last
score.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year,
So-
our 11-year ranked first because of the perfect score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The
that
world.
was
The
exciting.
rum.
And then this year we
Well,
were.
at the IWS.
This year we
Yeah.
tied for first with 6 others,
Okay.
and one of them was actually Gary down in Elgin.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So two
nice.
of the top rums in the world in San Francisco this year.
Yeah.
We scored 95s, came from Arizona.
Yeah.
That was exciting
And
too.
I'm pretty sure we were the only 2 U.S. rums. Gary and I have had the top U.S. rums from those 2 competitions for the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And that's crazy that it's
Out of the desert.
That it's
Yeah.
out
I
of the
know.
desert, and you don't hear about it a lot here in.
No,
in
No,
but
the
we
it's
don't
state.
get
good
a
that we're going to
tremendous
get it
amount
out
of
to the
press.
Yeah.
Arizonans because that's
Yeah.
something to be proud of.
For sure.
Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges of getting this into? I mean, this is a world renowned product, obviously, getting it into cocktail bars and bars and stuff across the state.
Wow, that's
Wow.
a hard question.
That's a whole episode, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Wholesale and
Yeah.
we'll attribute a little bit to our age. Well, I can't do what I used to do.
Oh, sure. You mean
You
getting
know.
out and
Well, yeah, living in, mixologist wants an appointment at 10 o'clock and I'm there at 10 in the morning and they meant 10 at night. I'm in bed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So, some of it is self-inflicted.
Yeah.
It makes it harder.
Sure.
But yeah, what we talked about earlier, it's just a hard industry.
Yeah.
There's a lot of competition.
Yep.
We're
Yep.
not the only good spirit,
Yeah. Yeah.
We're very proud of what we do.
Hard to find
But,
craft too sometimes, and sometimes people just don't know about you,
Yeah.
so they don't even know it's available. I've had recently in the last few years, people have come upon us and said, we didn't know you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. all
And,
the
and it's
time.
just one of those things. It's just they find out later and they're like, how did I not know this?
I
Yeah.
always say
And then they carry you.
Yeah.
So it'll come along.
we're
Yeah.
the Van Winkle of rum.
Van
We're really hard to find.
But worth it once you do, right?
Well, our
Yeah.
customers go out of their way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Let's face it, Bacardi spills more in a day than I make in a year. I'm a very small cog
Yeah.
in the wheel.
It is. It's a tough.
And a lot of this industry revolves around money,
Sure.
and we don't have a lot of that.
Yeah. And convenience too. I've noticed that sometimes
Yes.
convenience
Oh,
and ease. It's
absolutely.
like, what do you got? All right, yeah, we'll take that. It's
Yeah.
where it takes effort and it's like finding new music, right? Where
Well,
you-
that's where an Ellsworth brewery comes in.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
take the time
Yes.
to,
They sourced,
You know
craft.
Yeah.
and they actually understand it, promote it,
Yeah.
believe in it,
Yeah.
and that's definitely hard to find.
For sure. Yep.
Yeah. Some people, it's
Definitely
all about
hard to
the bottom line, for everything. But sometimes you find people like here, and they care about the customer. They care about their own, stuff and taste, and everything is quality. And there's not that many places out there like that. And
Yeah.
so when the customers find out, they flock to them.
Well, I like to
Yeah.
think they try to do something unique here.
Oh,
They do.
They
Yeah.
do.
And
So-
and they do a great job of. I think the you were talking earlier about gluten free, right? About how that's kind of the buzzword of the last 10 years. Support local also is
Right.
is a buzzword that sometimes within our industry we don't always see it. We see people
Correct.
using it for marketing and for
Well,
this or
sometimes
that.
that means put a bottle on the shelf,
Yeah.
and then they're done.
For sure.
That doesn't mean that they're out there selling it,
Exactly.
and
yeah.
we don't survive unless somebody drinks it.
Yep. And Old Ellsworth does that. That's what I love.
Exactly.
They work directly
Absolutely.
with Schnepp Farms. They work with
Yeah.
Queen Creek Olive Mill
Yeah.
and Grain R&D down the street here, and with you guys. And I love it. Yeah,
It's what is necessary,
for sure.
but lacking.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and I think I think it's hard for the consumer, just like if I look up something in Mojave County, where I live, it's hard to find those small family businesses, and sometimes you have to find it, word of mouth. It's
Yeah.
not on the internet.
Yep.
Or if it is, it's so hard to find. Google is filtering out those and putting in all the sponsored ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so somehow you miss it.
Yep.
And,
Yeah,
and you
I
don't,
mean-
it's just, sometimes it's just hard. You can't find everything online.
Sure. Yeah.
We're not going to be, generally speaking, in the mainstream.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we know where to find you. Kingman, Arizona. You guys are doing great.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for
Thank you
jumping.
for
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. Yeah, it is our pleasure. So keep doing what you're doing. If you're listening to this, watching this, I think we lost our camera there.
Okay.
It turned off. So Jose put the beautiful logo that they have here. That'll go over the video part of it. But no, you guys are very excited for what you guys are doing. What I love doing your thing, doing what you truly believe in, and they zig, you zag. Keep
it's
it up.
a challenge. but
Yeah. Same for me.
A lot of my customers are like, when are you going to retire? I said, when you hear a 20-year-old spirit, be worried.
Yeah.
We might be.
We're at 14.
Yeah, we
Okay.
still have a ways to go.
Yeah. All right. I'll keep an eye out for that too.
Right on. Well, we expect to see you sometime in Mojave County, maybe in the next few years.
Yeah.
There you
Me
go.
specifically.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm
Yeah.
in. Yes. All right.
We have like a little oasis, so
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll
Now
be-
there's a place to eat, and
Yeah.
that car, the train car, is a historic train car. It's car number 30 in
Wow.
all the history books, built in 1917. So and we actually have an Airbnb we didn't even mention,
Yeah.
and that's in a historic caboose.
1948 caboose.
That's
1948. It's in the 999 series of cabooses that's you can find in the history books. So fun. It's just fun.
Yeah. Well, and I think that, I mean, one thing that we really specialize in, and it kind of just naturally happened, just I love telling stories, like, you know, growing up in Ohio and this time that this happened or whatever. And that's what I truly love about food and beverage, too. There's so much story. There's so many stories to be shared.
I love to drink.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
There's a story behind
good.
everything.
Good, yeah. There is, yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, the caboose, the train car,
I know.
your spirits, like, there's so much involved around you guys. Like, I mean, the two of you, like, your blood, sweat, and tears going into this, and you know, the blind faith of following John on his crazy journey of, you know, doing the things his own way. But no, I joke a little bit, but in my heart, I love that. Like, we need more people like that that truly follow.
We do.
Like, you know,
In whatever industry.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's true.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's fun if you do it. It's a challenge on all levels.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about the money, but it's not about the money. You know what I'm saying?
You got to make the money, but the money
to a certain degree.
Yeah.
But it's not the driving force.
for sure. For sure. Yeah. Sometimes I wish it was. Like, sometimes I'm like, man, can't we just be motivated by money? Like, no.
We're
Unfortunately, I'm motivated
thankful
by-
that we can do this, you know.
I
We're
mean,
thankful.
who could? I was at
Yeah.
some point in my life.
Yeah.
We're
But
thankful
now-
and blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, nice work,
Thank
guys.
you again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. All right, guys. So have a good trip back to Kingman.
Yeah.